I read the book The Yellow Yacht by Ron Law. Chapter 1. I'm going to I'm going to miss you, think mother said as she pulled her car up to the airport. Give Sammy a hug for me. Give Sammy a hug for me. Will you? Think parents had named him Donald David Duncan, but now almost everyone called him Dink. Dink, Josh, and Lucy Ross were on their way to visit their friend Samuel Samuel Ben Oz for his birthday. 세미를 맞나 모르겠네. 보자. 사람 이름이 제일 힘들어. 사미르.
Samir.
Samir bin Oz for his birthday. Samir lived in a small island country in the Indian Ocean called Costa Rica, where his father and mother were the king and the queen. The kids hugged and said goodbye to Dink mother. Then a man in a white shirt and dark trouser helped them stack their luggage on the chart. Trouser. Let's see.
Trousers.
Trouser. Dark trouser held them stuck their luggage on the cart. I'm Carter, your flight attendant on this trip, the man said. He guided the kid through security, then outside to a landing field. Off to one side sat a slick jet. When the kid boarded, uh, when the kid boarded, they discovered that they were the only passenger. Please choose your seat, then you can decide what you want for lunch, Carter said. He handed them menu card. Menu card. Menu card. I love being treated like royalty. 로열티는 또 뭘까? 로열티가 뭔지 모르겠다. 로열티. 로열 패밀리는 로열티야?
Royalty.
맞네. I love being treated like royalty, Lucy Rose said. She liked to dress all in one color for this trip to Costa Rica. She had chosen royal blue, while the kids were reading their menus. A red-haired woman stepped out of the cockpit. The cockpit. Hi, I am Captain Losty Dollar. Losty Dollar. I am Captain Losty Dollar. Your pilot, she said. Our flight to Costa Rica should take about 15 hours. When you wake up tomorrow morning, you will be there if you freeze buckles up, buckles, buckle up, buckle up, buckle up. If you will freeze buckle up, I will take off in a few minutes. 5 minutes later, the small jet roared to the air. The kid watched the ground become smaller and smaller. Then they saw only white cloud and blue sky. Hmm. When the planes had leveled off, Carter appeared at their seat. What would you like for lunch? He asked. The kid all chose chocolate milk. The kid all chose chocolate milk. Cheeseburger, cheeseburger, chocolate milk, cheeseburgers, and apple pie for dessert. After they finished lunch, the kid played check, crack, 네 그러는데 checker. Kid played checker, read, read, and listened to music through their headset. When it grew dark outside his small window, Carol gave them each a blanket, blanket and pillow. He dimmed, dimmed the cabin light and turned on soft music. Pleasant dream, Carl said. Then he disappeared to the rear of the plane. Dink woke up when he felt the slight dump. He sat up and looked out the window. He saw palm tree, and blue sky. We are here, he said to Josh and Rush. A few minutes later, the door opened and Sammy stepped Sammy stepped inside the plane. He was wearing the tonic, ruby red tonic and black point shoes. Sammy, our three kids cried. They all hype on each other. Okay, you're free to deplane. Deplane. Okay, you are free to deplane. Captain Dollar said from the cockpit. The kid thanked her and Carter, then walked off the plane to the small landing field. Warm air kissed their skin. A smell, a sweet smell came from flower growing in nearby field. Now where do we go? Ding asked. Sammy, how do we get to your castle? How do we get to your castle? Hmm. Sammy grinned and pointed, point, pointed up at the sky. Just then, the kid heard the whirring noise, whirring noise. A slaver helicopter appeared above them. The rotating blade created a stiff wind, blowing the kid hair every which way. We are going in a helicopter. Josh cried. This is the coolest thing that ever happened to me. The chopper, the chopper ran, the chopper landed. Then the pilot helped the kid climb the board and buckle up as the chopper rose. It was too noisy to talk. Instead, the kid just watched the sen- scenery, scenery down below. Think saw a deep blue ocean and birds of every size, shape, and color. Sunlight bounce, bound, bounce, bound off the water, turning everything to gold. 5 minutes later, the chopper started downward. Sammy poked the thing on the arm. There's our house. There's our house. He shouted. Dink, Josh, and Richard looked down at the small kettle. The chopper hovered. The chopper hovered for a few seconds, then landed on the kettle roof. The pilot helped. The pilot helped the kid climb out. He handed out their packs, waved, and took the chopper back up. Dink squint kept dust, and he hair out of his eye when he could see again. There was a tall man with bright blue eyes working toward them. He wore the brilliant green robe with a yellow sash around his waist. The man gave a slight bow to Dink, Josh, and Rose. "I'm King, Father," he said in a deep voice. Chapter 2. Dink grabbed, then bowed to the king. "And I am Queen Grace," said a woman who stepped out from behind the king. The queen wore a long white gown. The tip of sh- blue shoes showed under the crowned hem. Around her neck she wore the gold chain suspending a ruddy ruby. All three kids murmured, murmured, murmured. Three kids murmured hello and bowed. bowed. "Those are my parents," Sammy said proudly. "Welcome to our home," Queen Grace said. "Sammy, why don't you show your friend their room now?" The king and the queen walked to a door where a servant would wait to open it. They disappeared down some stairs. "This is so handsome," Joshi said, gazing from the rooftop. The castle stood at the edge of the small town, surrounded on three sides by an ancient, ancient wall. The fourth side was ocean. Beyond, beyond the wall were fields and woods. Think saw a wide gate in the wall. A winding, winding road snaked through through the field and disappeared into the mountains. "And then your father bought," Lucy Rose asked. She was pointing to a long yellow sailboat in a harbor. In the harbor, the yacht had the topmast and neatly stood sails. "No, we only have a small fishing boat," Sammy said. He so she shared he shut his eye and peered, peered at the yacht. "I don't know who won that one." The kid followed the kid followed Sammy down stone stairs to a carpet hallway. A man stepped into their path. His eyes were pierced. His eyes were pierced and the thick back eyebrow. He wore a white turban, a black tunic, and red trouser. The man smiled and nodded to Sammy. May I help you, your young friends? No thanks. I'm just showing my friend the room. Sammy said. Guys, this is Finn, my servant. Finn great, Clarence, Finn glanced at the kid, then backed away. As you wish, young prince. He's scurry, he's scurry, Josh whispered. Sammy grinned. Finn is cool, he said. He practiced rocking scurry. He practiced rocking scurry to keep kidnappers away. All the bedrooms are here. He point he point he pointed to a double set of door at the end of the hall. My parents sleep there. Our rooms are this way. Sammy read them around the corner and stopped at the first door on the right. This is my room. You guys can pick your. They could count they could count 8 cross door. Those are all bedrooms, he asked. Sammy nodded. Sometimes we have a lot of guests, he said. Take a look at Josh. You went to he asked. Sure, I know you're afraid of the dark. Joshi teased. teased. Joshi teased. He opened the door of the room next to Sammy's and stepped inside. I will take a one across the hall from your guys, Bushrov said. Okay, I will see you in about 10 minutes, Sammy said before he went into his room. Knock after you're unpacked. Rosie Rose told Dink. She went into her room and closed the door. Before Dink had a chance to follow Josh, he heard the door open. A face peeked out of the room a few yards away. Dark eyes still start. Dark eyes start at think before the face disappeared and the door slammed shut. Tinker struck, wondering who else was staying in the castle. 10 minutes later, Sammy led the kid into the town of Neri. They trekked, trekked, they trekked along a cobblestone, 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 cobblestone. They trekked along a cobblestone road under tall shade tree. Most of the old buildings were made of stone. Everybody they passed smiled and greet Sammy. At the harbor, they walked along a stone pier that led to the wide aluminium dock. The water was calm. The water was calm, and several boats and yachts were under sail or motor. The yellow yacht seemed even bigger now that they were crossed. Think noticed
우리 예린이가 오빠
that it was not.
캐러멜 팝콘 사다 놨더니
yellow.
두 봉지 다 뜯어가지고 캐러멜만 챙겨 먹고 치즈만 잔뜩
There
남겨놨어.
was a green strip just above the waterline. The name Sundown was paint on the side. Maybe it belonged to the movie star, Josh said, as they gazed across the water. Two men in scuba diving gear appeared on Sundown's deck. They splash off the side and disappear. What are they doing? What are they doing? Joshi asked. 쌈이 먹는다고 티 들어오는 이놈은 먹고.
냥 하잖아 납죠.
What are they doing? Joshi asked. What are you doing? Sami shrugged. Maybe my dad knows, he said. I will ask him later. Sami led the kid farther along the harbor, then stopped where the square hole had been carved out of the earth, crisscrossing a very earth was pipe, miles of pipe and cables. A row of blue bloater. The row of bloater line, bloater, bloater, blood, 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 blood. The row of bloater line, one wall of the hall. A green backer stood off the one side, like a sleeping dinosaur. Two men stood together talking. One wore jeans and a t-shirt with bana- red bandana, red bandana tie around his black hair. The other man was old with gray hair. He wore white pants and a blue shirt. The man in the red bandana waved at Sammy. That's Rico. He's the job foreman. Sammy said with a wave back. What is this place anyway? Ushwald asked. Sammy spread his arms. It's going to be an aquarium. "Hmm, It's going to be an aquarium," he said. He pointed he pointed to the empty space behind the hall. Up there will be a school for kids who want to run about the ocean. Sammy grinned Sammy grinned at his guest. Pretty soon, this will be filled with ocean water and plants and fish, he said. What's that for? Joshi asked. He pointed to a long, wide pipe, half in the water and half out. A machine was attached to the end that was only dry land. A motor will pump ocean water up through that pipe. Sammy explained. Other pipe will take the water out again, so it's always clean. Think picture the finished aquarium with fish and other sea creatures swimming among the brooder. Josh twisted. And your dad is paying for all this, he said. Sammy pointed to the stone building next door. The small brass sign, a small brass sign said, "Nary Bank." My grandfather left my father a lot of gold bar. Sammy said quickly, "They are in the bank, and that's what my father is using to pay for the aquarium." "That's great," Dink said. "So when will the aquarium and school open?" Sammy struggled. "My dad say in a few months," he said. "Come on, I will introduce you to Rico." The kid followed Sammy down a sloping bank into the bottom of the pit. Rico shook hands with the old pork kid. He greeted, he greeted Sammy in Costarian, Costron, language, 아닌데, language, 음, a language Dink had never heard before. "Those are my American friends, Dink, Josh, and Rose," Sam said. "Hello, and welcome," Rico said, in perfect English. His eyes sparkled, sparkled like black marbles, and his teeth gleamed. Rico turned to the gray-haired man. "This is Dr. Leopold Score," he said. "He's giving me some great idea for the project." Dr. Score bowed. "I'm a marine biologist. Mm, I'm a marine biologist," he told the kid. "I am doing research nearby. I am doing research nearby. And I hear about Perhat, King Perhat, the wonderful aquarium. Would you like to meet King?" Sammy asked. "You know him?" Dr. Score asked, looking surprised. "He's my father," Sammy answered. Suddenly, they heard the sound of distant chant. "Come on," Sammy said to his friend. "That's Finn ringing a dinner bell." Chapter 3. The kids spent the next couple of days exploring near Neri. Sammy showed the kids a small park where parrot parrot lived in the tree. He took them to a glass blow factory, where they watched the men blow red molten glass into delicate animals. They stopped at the food store and ate hot meat sandwich and drank lemon flavored drink. Once or twice, Dink noticed Dink noticed the man he'd seen peeking out of his bedroom in the castle. Dink asked Sammy about the man, but Sammy just shrugged. "He must be a friend of my father," was all Sammy would say. On the third day of their visit, the kids were relaxing on a small bench. They sat in the sand and took off their sandals. The sun, poopy crowd, and both made beautiful pictures. Out in the harbor, the yellow yacht sat peacefully. mm, Out in the harbor, The yellow yacht sailed peacefully in the turquoise water. Turquoise, turquoise water. 많이 먹네.
뭐?
뜻이 뜻도 모르겠고 처음 듣는 말이야.
하지 마. 옐로우 야트. 옐로우 야트가 설뜰에 조용하게.
터키 옥이라는 거래.
아니야.
Turquoise.
이게
Turquoise.
푸른 물
아니, 그러니까-
위에 서 있더라고.
그러니까 푸른 위에 서 있는데 이제 peacefully in the turquoise 이게 전부 다
푸른 빛바다. 저렇게 까단 물에 그런 거.
블루 오션이 아니고
블루오션은 너무 그러니까 블루오션보다 조금 더 깊은 바다고 그거는
Every now and then men wearing scuba gear would either
그래 세 명 또
off the
바닷가
boat
갔어?
or climb the boat. They cried. 처음에는 챕터 1에는 비 타고 날아가는 배에 대한 얘기를
휴가 가는
했고,
거야?
두 번째는 성 캐설에 대해서 아빠의 친구. 근데 그 친구가 왕족이야.
오.
코스타리카 왕족이래.
오.
그래서 그 코스타리카 온 거지.
그런 아빠 친구 있으면 좋겠다.
그래서
노력해봐.
초청받아가지고 그리고 온 거야.
오, 아빠 노력해봐.
They cried, mesh back, and wrong black prepare on their bed. The kid recognized Dr. Score as he worked. 닥터도 있어. As he worked about on the deck. Maybe they are looking at the fish.
오, 이거 완전 달겠다.
Josh said, Dr. Score told my father he's studying coral. Sammy said, but there are a lot more coral outside the harbor. He said, oh, 달다, 맛있네. His butt looked so good.
어떻게
I
하다가
wish we
보면
could
이렇게 떡칠돼 있는 거
go
있어.
aboard.
무지다는 거.
Lucy Rose said, as she put her feet in the water. 친구가 킹이고 그래. My father. 그래서 얘네들 아빠가
누구네
아쿠아리움을
아빠가?
하는데.
딩크네 아빠.
딩컨의 아빠.
오,
덩컨.
덩컨 아저씨네.
덩컨
네?
아저씨의
할아버지는
친구가
고고학자고 막 아빠 친구는
덩컨은-
왕이고 그래?
왕이야. 코스타리카 왕.
미들네임까지 있더니 좀 있는 집안인가 봐.
She put her feet in the water. My father will arrange it, Sammy said. Joshua looked at him. He can't do that. Sammy grinned. He is the king, Josh. Josh then finished shop with a few other servants. It's carrying a Raji basket. A few minutes later, they had set up a table and loaded with food. Lunch is served. Lunch is served. Finn announced in a Costarian, and Sammy translated. The kid rolled up plate. The kid rolled up plate and sat in folding chair. The servant handed them cold drink and clothes napkins. Oh my gosh, I just remembered, Lucy Rose cried. Today is your birthday, Sammy. Happy birthday, Sammy blushed. My parents are giving me a party tonight, he said. Cool, Josh said. Will there be a cake? Before Sammy could answer. They hear the shrieking whistle. The noise was coming from town. What is that? Dink asked Sammy. It's an alarm. It's an alarm, Sammy said. He stood up and looked toward town. It sounds like it's coming from the aquarium site. Pin leant over and spoke augur, aug, 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 or, or, 여미고, augur, augur,
urgently.
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 Spoke urgently to Sammy in their language. 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 아닌데, 게이지.
보자. 아까도 그 단어더만.
이거 한번 읽어봐. 랭귀지 아니 랭귀지?
그래.
랭귀지
언어,
맞지?
랭귀지, their language.
그러니까 their 랭귀지 맞지?
응.
계속 내가
랭귀지.
아니 아까도 랭귀지도 있어.
아까도 그거 똑같은 단어 갖다 써. 계속 이상한 소리 내더라고.
Language. Their language. You say he thinks it's the bank. Sammy said, "Come on." The kid wrapped their breads on their seat and raced toward the bank. Pin rang beside Sammy. When they reached the bank, the door opened and the man buzzed outside. That's Mr. Riz Boss, the manager of the bank, Sammy said. He rang up to Mr. Boss, who began speaking in rapid Castilian. His eyes were blowing. His eyes were blowing, and he waved his hand in the air as he spoke. Pin took out the harpoon from inside his robe and dialed the number. People came out of the nearby shop to see what was the matter. Samuel returned to the kid. His face was pallid. Mr. Buzz said the bank uh, Bart, Bart has been broken into. Did they take anything? Roosevelt asked. Sammy grouped. Yes, or my father's gold is gone. Sammy said something to Mr. Butts, and the man nodded. He walked, he walked back into the bank with the pen and the kid at his heel. My boss, Mr. Buzz took them to the violet. 아, 이 발음.
물좀 드러내. 다 멍치가.
아니야, 그거 하면 돼.
뭐.
그거 물기 그거 요거 좀 내려가는 거 좀 올려주면 돼. 아주 조금 올려주면 돼.
아 못하겠어.
내가 올릴게.
손가락 없어.
Vault.
Board 맞네.
아까 따라가.
Board. The door was wide open. Inside they could see a hole in the board floor. Chunk of stone and concrete. Chunk of stone and concrete lay next to the opening. Mr. Buzz spoke excitedly to Sammy, then hurried away. The kid fell down inside the hole. There's a tunnel down there.
루시 말고.
Lucy Rose said. The
다 10분씩이나 읽었어. 그만 읽어.
이게 마지막인데 이게 Lucy Rose said the crook dug their way in from outside somewhere. Dinker looked around the empty part. The only thing he saw was a wide wooden platform. Where was the guard kept? He asked. Sammy pointed to the pallet. It was stack, stack. It was a stack there. He said grimly, 52 bars. Dink knew too much gold would be very heavy. Two wondered how anyone could carry it away. Just then, Sammy father rushed into the bank cart, followed by a man and a woman wearing police uniform. Mr. Budge stood beside them. It was cool in the bar, but Dink noticed that Mr. Buzz was sweating. The king got on his knees to examine to her, then stood up. The tunnel was dug from the aquarium pit. He said, "Please check it, officer." The king turned to Mr. Buzz. "Let's go into your office, please," he said. 이걸 가야 되는데. He said, "When will you come to please? I'd like a witness to our conversation." After three men left, Sammy leaned close to Dink. Let's follow, let's follow the cops, he whispered. The four kids got out of the bank and walked to the edge of the construction site down in the pit. The officers were already talking to Rico and two other workers. The kid moved closer so they could hear what was going on. They saw the policeman checking out the brother right up near the edge of the pit. He gave out of the brother a talk. "Hey, does the thing are fake?" he shouted in English. They hardly weighed anything. To prove it, the man rolled the brother out of line. It was as tall as him, but he moved it easily. "They are all artificial. They are all artificial," Rico said. "They will be used inside the aquarium when it finishes. Real brother would, would, would be too heavy. Let's move them," the Polish woman said. Rico and his workers had rolled the brother aside. It took only a few minutes to find the tunnel opening. The first man crawled into the tunnel while everyone else watched. He backed, he backed it out 2 minutes later. There are further rappers. There are further workers. One spent a lot of time digging the tunnel. The other officer looked at Rico. "Can you explain how anyone could have dug a tunnel without your knowledge?" No knowledge. No knowledge. No knowledge. Your 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 new knowledge, she said. Rico shook his head. The tunnel was hidden. The tunnel was hidden behind the brother. "How was I supposed to know?" he asked. "But you are in charge here, right, sir?" the policewoman asked. "That's right," Rico said. "I am the site foreman." The officer beckoned to her partner to join her. "We need you gentlemen to come with us while we sort this out." She said. One of the workmen started to pull away, but Rico stopped him. Sure, we'll go with you, Rico said. He led them to the sloping part of the pit, where the heavy machinery was driven in and out. Do you think Rico did it? Rushrod asked Sammy when the officer and crowd were gone. I hope not. Sammy said he seemed like such a nice guy. Josie felt inside the tunnel entrance. It must have taken the clock a while to dig this thing, he said. Let's check it out, Dink said. The kid dropped to their knees and crawled into the tunnel. Dink went first, followed by Josh. Then Rush rolled. Sammy came last. The tunnel was about the length of two school bus, but row standing up. Uh, dirt, dirt, the dirt under their knees was mostly sand and pebbles. The kid could the kid could see with the help of dim light coming from both ends of the tunnel. They stopped in a spot that was wider than the rest of the passageway. passageway. 10 feet ahead, the tunnel sloped up where to the bank board. Look at all this junk, Josh said. He pointed to a fillet of bigger wrapper and soda cans. Think, Nick, and the food debris. I'd say he was in here a few days and rest. Wait, what's that? Josh said. He got poured and grabbed a paper that think a snaker had delivered. It's some kind of knot, Tinker said, looking over Josh's shoulder. But it's written in Costarian Sami. The kid hunched together while Sammy quickly read the note. This is impossible, Sammy said after a minute. The word. This is written to Rico. He explained. It tells him to dump the gold of the war. Where someone else, we load, we load it into the trunk and take it away. The kid started at the strange note. It is a second sign. Is it sign? Think asked finally. No, but there this Sammy point to the to the bottom of the sheet. There, in small blue letter, was an email address. LB Albany Near Bank Net. This is the bank email address, Sammy said. Dinka put his finger on the first two letters. That might to someone's interior. Someone that might be someone's interior, she said. There are some said his dark eyes gleamed in the half light. LB stand for Liz Buzz. 땡! 내일 챕터 5예요.